Hey everybody, welcome to Kiki Loves Nigeria. Hey, y'all let me know if y'all can hear me okay because I am using this new microphone and I don't know how well it's working, so I don't know if it's too loud or if it's just right. So let me know if the microphone is okay. Should I go back to the other microphone or is this microphone fine? Is it too close? So give me some feedback on the sound. I'm sorry I'm not showing my face tonight, y'all. But y'all, it's been a rough week. Trying to get ready to get back to get things going again. It's a lot. And I had to do a lot of training. So chosen one, please forgive me because I have not had a chance to get to the post office because I've been at the school so late every night trying to get things together. But I promise you next week I should be able to get there. I'm going to try to go tomorrow to see if the kiosk is working. If the kiosk is working, chosen one, I can do it tomorrow, okay? But please forgive me. And y'all, please forgive me for showing the picture instead of my face. But hey, thank God I'm here. Thank God I'm here. Okay, again, let me know if the mic is working fine, if you can hear me okay. If you cannot hear me, just let me know. Say, we can't hear you. Oh, okay, thank you, Debo. How you doing, sweetie? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all, about earlier. Y'all know I didn't mean to put 1 o'clock. I was probably rushing, doing 2 or 3 things at one time, and I put 1 o'clock. But I didn't mean to put 1 o'clock. Sometimes we'll do 1 o'clock, but if the time changes like that, usually I'll let you guys know. But when school is in, it's pretty regular because of my schedule. It's so tight. All right. So look, hey, Smitty's Corner. How you been? It's good to see you. It's good to see all y'all. Y'all know I wish I could sing. If I could sing, honey, I would sing everything. I wouldn't even talk. I would just sing. I would just sing like K Michelle could sing. I wish I could sing like her, I would just sing everything. How she just sings everything, I would do that. I would just sing. So look, tonight we talking about something that every time I go back to it, y'all, I get really upset. I didn't realize how upset these stories make me until I was going back and reviewing this story. This story probably makes me the angriest out of all of them. And this story, I have not even given this story its due. It needs more attention. T3 and me need my attention. They need much more attention than I've been giving them because I'm looking back, like when I was getting ready for this show, I'm looking back and I'm looking at over all this information I got. And I'm like, what? These people did this? These people did that? And they just distanced themselves like it was nothing, like it was your fault and something's wrong with you. And it's just unbelievable. And I'm like, why don't I have more videos about these people? But then I realized that was about the time when I was going to Gambia. Remember, I got this information maybe a month or 2 before I went to Gambia. So I got really busy. Once I got in Gambia, everything changes. Once I got back, I had to start, getting ready for school again. So I'm glad when we were talking in the video I made, people were telling me they wanted to go back to this subject. So I said, okay, let's go back to T3 and me. And I'm glad we did go back because once we went back, now I see that it is very important that I stay on this story. This story is extremely important until we know people have gotten their money back, until we know these people are completely done doing what they've done, allegedly. Because again, we have to say allegedly. We have to say allegedly because no judge has ruled in these cases. The one that T3 and me are going to court for now, last I heard, I believe they didn't go to court. They didn't go to arbitration. They were supposed to go to arbitration, but we're going to get to that. Because remember, they told us they didn't have any lawsuits. These people are very big scammers and liars. That's another thing that it's just blowing my mind is these blatant lies. Like they tell lies that aren't even believable. But we believed them. We believed them. So these people, this YouTube people, I promise you, I'm going to give these people the attention that they deserve, because they deserve way more attention than what they've been getting. Okay, way more, because I'm just going to show you. So I was requested again to go back to this, and I'm sorry again that I have not invested as much time on this story as I should have, because this story is of major, major importance. Now, let me introduce myself. And again, I apologize for not showing my face tonight, but again, I had a rough week, and I sincerely, y'all know I usually don't do this, but I sincerely apologize, because I feel like if you guys can show up, then I can show my face. All right. So look, I am the host of this show. And on this show, Kiki Loves Nigeria, we talk about everything and anything that has to do with your repatriation journey. All right. Repatriating to West Africa. Well, no, honey, it ain't West Africa. It's all of Africa. Repatriating to Africa, visiting Africa, investing in Africa. We talk about it on this channel. This channel is like a resource. Whatever you want to know, you come over here, and 9 times out of 10, if we have not already talked about it, just email me at kikilovesnigeria@gmail.com. And if we have not talked about it, trust me, we will. All you got to do is just ask me, all right? And we'll be glad to talk about it. But some things I cannot talk about. All right, now, speaking of that, next week, I got a good story for y'all. This is some new allegations of scamming. We got some new scammers. Well, allegations of scammers. All right. So we're going to talk about these new, and this one is going to surprise y'all. This one is going to surprise y'all. So we're going to talk about them next week, and we're going to present the story. We're going to present the case, and let the cards fall where they may. All right. I've already been doing some background, looking into this case, talking to the 2 parties involved, and I'm going to present it to you guys. All right. Because that's what we do here. We come here, we present the information. I tell y'all what I think, but ultimately it's about what you guys think. All right. So that's what we're going to do next week, because people are still out here doing what they do, trying to make money off of us. So let me put up fair use so we can get started. All right. Again, my name is Kiki Loves Nigeria. And on this show, we talk about anything and everything that has to do with you visiting, repatriating, or investing anywhere in West Africa. All right. So let's put up fair use, because on this channel, I use a lot of other people's material. And I use that material because I don't want us to rely on faulty information. I don't want us to rely on secondhand, third-hand information. All right. When I was in school, when I was getting my master's in public administration, there was one thing they talked about, was how our community, the Black community, they believe what we say, each other say. They'll believe what we say, each other says, before they believe what they hear on the news, before they believe what the government says. So it's very important that when we relay information, that we relay the information correctly. And if we communicate the information, miscommunicate the message, or if we give misinformation, we need to go back and correct ourselves and correct the information. Say correction, it instead of XYZ, it was elemental P. We have to do that, because in our community, we don't do that. We'll just believe gossip and hearsay because we don't know the difference between facts and opinions. We don't know when we're listening to somebody's opinion and when we're listening to somebody's fact. And there's a big difference. An opinion is based on what you think and what we feel. A fact is based on what we can prove with a text. I mean, not just a text message, but text like letters written down, or with a video, or with an audio. You see what I'm saying? You got something to back it up. We call those receipts on this channel. So when you have a receipt, that makes it a fact. All right. And that receipt is called a primary source. And that's what YouTube videos are, primary sources. All right. That's a primary source. That's a fact. That's not gossip. That's not rumors. That's a fact. That's what you said. All right. And I'm just responding, analyzing from my professional and my personal background what you said or what you've done. All right. So that's what you got to understand. That's what we do over here. We don't just sit up and just gossip. When it's gossip, when I don't have facts, I'll tell you, I don't have a receipt for this. I'll tell you, this is just gossip, but this is what I heard. But the word on the street, if I say the word on the street, that means I don't have any facts for real, for real. I just have whispers. You know how the streets be whispering. I have that. People telling me, hey, Kiki, this is what I heard. Hey, Kiki, this is what people saying. Like that. But when that's the case, I'll let you know. So that's why I use primary sources, because I want you guys to understand how to do research and how to separate facts from fiction, and know when you're using a primary source, and learn to look for a primary source when you're looking for information. Don't just believe what somebody tells you. Go look for yourself. So that's what the goal of this whole channel is really all about, for us to learn to do our own research and fact check everybody. If somebody tells you something, fact check them. And that's what this channel is all about, showing you how to fact check people. So to do that, we have to show videos sometime. We have to look at other people's videos. So I want to let you guys know that in that case, we use the fair use disclaimer. Fair use says that the content on Kiki Loves Nigeria may contain copyrighted content not authorized for use by the owner. However, no copyright infringement is intended, none at all. The intention is to educate, and your video is used as a tool. All right, you are nothing more than an example. You are the example of what I'm trying to teach about, which at this moment is land scamming. And you are an example because you fit the description. So you aren't merely an example. These are all allegations, because these are crimes these people are being accused of, y'all. These are crimes. This is criminal activity. Fraud is a crime, y'all. You can't be engaged in fraudulent activity. The high school I used to work at, the superintendent, the whole school now has been closed down, y'all, because of fraudulent activity. You can't, it's a crime. You cannot do these type of things. Like I said, in the United States, they'll shut you down. Over in Africa, where the systems aren't so tight yet, these people get away with it. They get away with it. And they take advantage of us. That's why I'm keep telling you, you got to take care. You got to let your resources here know. If you've been a victim, you got to take, and you're from the U.S., you got to contact the U.S. Trade Commission and the FBI. If you're from the U.K., then you need to contact Fraud Alert. You can't just let this go. You cannot. Sometime maybe you'll get your money back, or maybe you won't. But you can also use these videos as a primary source. Source to show. Here's the information. This is the information. Here are the receipts, because I show you the receipts. All right. So that's the purpose of using somebody else's work, somebody else's video. So the copyrighted material used on this channel falls under the Fair Use Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, which states copyrighted material can be used for educational, research, teaching, and commentary purposes, which is the explicit goal of this channel. Now, this is another thing y'all got to remember. The views expressed on this channel, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on Kiki Loves Nigeria, they don't just belong to me, y'all. They don't belong to me at all. If I don't say it, it don't belong to me. All right? People on here, and that's how I want this forum to be, a place where you are open to say how you feel. All right? Where you can be you and you can say how you feel. And we have grown people discussions. All right? Sometimes it gets hot and heated. Some people are more frank and more blunt than others. And if you've noticed this person is a very frank person or a very blunt person, then just don't interact with that person. Just don't interact with that person. Talk to other people. There are so many different personalities in the chat. You don't have to interact with people who you find offensive. There's all kind of people on this street, and all kind of people are accepted on this street. I don't want everybody to be like me. I don't want everybody to think like me. All right. I think diversity is the way of life. You know, I think debates is how we learn. I think you seeing it blue and I'm seeing it green and us discussing the differences and why we see it like that. I think that's where we learn and where we grow. But if I just have a bunch of people on this channel who all just agree with me and who all talk like me, walk like me, act like me, come on, what are we doing here? I'm not spending 2 hours, 3 hours on my Saturday nights doing that. That's wasting time. So this is a real channel with real people, with different views, like your family. You know how you got them family members, you just be like, oh, here they come. All right, I'm just not saying nothing. Because I know if I say something, it's going to be a big argument. So you know what? I'm just going to sit back and I ain't saying nothing to them. I might say hi, and after that, I'm not saying nothing. All right? So please believe that, understand that. They belong solely to the author, not necessarily to the host of this channel. Thank you. All right? So please remember that. Oh, hey, Susan. Look, y'all, we got a new member. Well, hey, thank you for joining. Thank you so much. All right, we got to talk about when we're going to have our first meeting, okay? So we can get together, introduce ourselves, and we're going to talk about, we want to plan events for the channel, and we want to talk about different videos that we want to see. All right. So please join the YouTube channel, the membership, because we want to take this, we want to make this bigger than just YouTube. You know, we want to make this about the community, something that we can come together as a community and do things, you know, and learn from each other and grow from each other. Hold on, it seems like my computer's not charging. And I don't know why. Okay, now it is. All right, now it is. Hold on, let me make sure it is. Okay. All right. I hope this thing is charging. It says it's plugged in. Okay, now. So welcome, Susan. Welcome to the membership. Let me get all y'all comments so we can get started. Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure this dang on computer is plugged up. Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure. Hold on. The light ain't coming on. There must be something wrong with this plug. Okay. All right. Let me see if that one will work. I might have to change the plug. Okay. So let's go through these comments and then we're going to get started. So y'all know if it just dropped dead, then hold on, don't go nowhere. That means the computer went dead. I'm gonna have to plug it up. someplace else. I'm gonna get my phone. Let me get it on my phone real quick because I can't. I think it's charging, but I told y'all once I got started looking at this T3 and me stuff, I just got like, I just couldn't believe it. I was like, oh no, I should have talked about this way more than I did. And like I said, I started looking back like, why didn't I? And it was because I went to Africa. All right, so hey T and K, how you doing? So look, y'all, I had it at 1 o'clock today, but it was really at 6. Yeah, I know it was really at 6. I'm so sorry, Debo. Please forgive me. Life without limits. How you doing, sweetie? Hey, Debo. Thank you for coming back. Okay, you guys can hear me just fine. Thank you. Remember, if it drops off, then you know it's the computer. It's not charging properly, and I gotta go charge it again. All right. You're welcome. Fine. Thank you. I am good, you guys. So again, we're gonna get caught up on T3 and me, but y'all know before we can even move forward, we got to talk about who T3 and me are. Because some people don't know. Some people don't know. Hey, African goddess, some people forgot. Some people don't realize the magnitude. Like me. I have forgot the magnitude of what they've done and how it's just like they act like it didn't happen. You know? They act like it didn't happen. Yeah, she's right. You have to fact check everybody. You can't just believe people, especially when they're talking about Africa, because they know this is an emotional thing for a lot of people. You know, this is very emotional, and they play on that. So you got to pay attention with that. You have to. All right, so let me introduce you to T3 and me. All right, and there was a very good video by a gentleman named Jamaican African Travels. All right, he was trying to warn us about T3 and me a long time ago when people were saying nothing, when people were sitting back, watching it go down. Some people are scared to say something. T3 and me were sending people, threatening to sue people, threatening to take people to court, threatening to do things to people to make people scared to say anything. And that's the thing about, I notice these people, they try to scare you into submission. You see what happened when we were talking about them and how they came on our channel and just started talking straight crazy. Just started talking straight crazy. And this is what they do. They bully people because you got to remember, T3 and me, the population, and we're doing Mark Meets Africa too. All right, so next week I'm gonna, cause he, Mark is we're gonna talk about him. We updating him next week. Also, while I introduce you to these alleged other new scammers. All right, alleged. Remember? Okay, so these people, Mark Meets Africa and T3 and me, their targeted population was often older people, and they were from this Hebrew Israelite community. And I couldn't understand. It was like, you got to see, when I get these cases, y'all, I got to put the puzzles together. It's like a puzzle, and you got to put the pieces together, right? So one of the big pieces was the Hebrew Israelite community, and this people called the End of the World Ministries. And O'Shea Duke Jackson kept on saying, it's these End of the World Ministries. These people are behind it, Kiki. These are the people who are sending the people that way. And I'm like, but why? Why would the church be sending the people to the lion's den? And guess what? I got proof. It was the church. This End of the World Ministries was indeed sending these elderly people to Mark Meets Africa and T3 and me. But why? But why? And Earl Grey, remember him? Remember him tried to come over here and plead in it the fifth, like he had nothing to do with it, and he was all up in it, and he thought we weren't gonna find out. He thought we was just gonna believe what he said. He didn't think we were gonna fact check him. We fact checked everybody. You can't just tell us anything. Just like you can't call and just say, "Oh, Kiki, he's a scammer," and think I'm gonna believe it. Because guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go straight to the scammer, the alleged scammer. I'm going to go straight to them, and I'm going to contact them, and I'm going to say, "Oh, I heard you were scamming," or "I heard this," or "I heard that," to give you a chance to say, "Hey, Kiki, that ain't it. Let me tell you what's going on. Who you hear that from? This is what it is." Because if somebody's saying I'm scamming, I'm going to be like, "Who told you that? And why?" Because I'm not scamming. What I'm not gonna do is ignore me and start attacking me. That's what I'm not gonna do. And calling me a bunch of names. I'm not gonna do that. So we find out this, and then this video, this man video came up. I was contacted and I get this video. And I could not believe that he had been trying to get this word out. Let's look at the date. Jamaican African Travels have been trying to get this word out since 2000, over a year, since July 23rd of 2024. He made this video, and he's been trying and trying to get this word out, what these people are doing. So let me take the time to play this video for you from Jamaican African Travels, who stood up to them when everybody else was either turning a blind eye or they weren't. But the people who were standing up to them, they were getting these cease and desist. Like y'all know Wanda, Miss Tanzania, she made a video about don't invest in the eco village. It wasn't even, the video, to my understanding, wasn't even about them. Or either she didn't say their name or anything, but they sent her a cease and desist, threatening to sue her, threatening to sue her company, threatening, all of this nonsense. Instead of proving this is not you, I am not doing this. You want to shut people down. Why do you want to shut people down instead of proving you're not involved in this? Now, again, this is Jamaican African Travels. This is a very nice man. His wife, this is his wife. They're a very nice couple. I had the opportunity to, talk to them several times. They've been helping me a lot with this case. And these are just some people who were they were just helping. You wouldn't believe how they got involved. They just saw what was going on was wrong. And they stood up and said, "This is wrong." This is how he got involved, because he saw what was going on, him and his wife, and they stood up and they said, "It's wrong to do these elderly ladies like this. It's wrong to do these disabled ladies like this." Don't you get it? These were disabled people. These were elderly women. Elderly women. One of the women, the two of the sisters, one was disabled, I believe, or both were disabled. They lived, I didn't even get to that story for real. They lived in the house. They're suing them because he had the house. He was supposed to have, when you have someone handicapped, you have to have all these things in the house. He was supposed to have all these things there, and he did not. He did not have those things there. And then on top of that, he was telling the people, and this is the Tim Ford do, allegedly, he was telling people in the community not to help these two ladies. Because these two ladies were standing up to them, telling them, "You're not doing what you're supposed to do." Y'all, these people were horrible. Horrible what they've done. It's another lady I need to tell you about, how they're forcing her to give them the land. Because if you do, it sounds, the land don't go through or the deal don't go through, somehow they get the land back. So it's to their advantage that you walk away from the deal. It's to their advantage that you get disappointed and say, forget it. All of that is to their advantage. Now, I'm going to play this video. And like I said, this person was the first person that I found who was actually standing up and saying, this is what's going on. Because again, this man would sue you. He would threaten to sue them. So here we go.
Welcome back to the Jamaican African Travels. I want to say blessing to my loyal supporters, viewers, subscribers, and also to the new subscribers who just find the channel. Welcome. So today I want to talk about buying land from T3 in Eco Village. T3 don't have any Eco Village over here. And people, when you send your money to buy land from T3, it's like when you bring some butter go put in the sun. It's going to melt right away. You have nothing to get. So just follow me, saying that we are undermining him, calling us snake. But he is a serpent, and he is also a Judas that betray all these people. From the day T3 and his wife touch his foot on this continent, people have been feeding them, paying their rent.
Did y'all know that?
Everything that they do over here, and the same people.
So did y'all know, excuse me, did y'all know that? Did you know that? And that's the thing that blows me away. How you go from being a needy person where you can't even feed yourself, you can't even provide shelter for you or your kids. Because this was a family. This man said, Mr. Jamaican Travels, African Jamaican Travels says that since they got on that continent, since they got to Tanzania, people have been taking care of them. People have been feeding them. People have been clothing them. People have been providing shelter for them. So how they go from can't even take care of yourself to this church ministry advising us, these Hebrew Israelites, to invest with them. How did they go from nothing to these big land investors? How did they do that? Just like that AP and Jody in the Gambia. Brokered in a joke. They couldn't even eat, y'all. I remember watching them, couldn't even eat. Sharing mangoes. And now they building this big old house. Where they get money from? Where all of a sudden they get money from? Y'all better ask the hard questions. That's what I was taught at the university, to look people in the face and ask the hard questions. And the hard question is, how do you go from this, where you can't feed your own family, to now you're over this big eco village, and you telling people they can do this and they can do that, when you couldn't even feed yourself or your family or your wife or your kids? These are the people we're dealing with. These are the people where these elderly people have given them thousands, y'all. Thousands. I'm not talking about 10,000, 5,000, 20,000 and up people are given to them. They're supposed to be building them a house, building this village. I'm so tired of this village lie. It's such a lie. The village is you supporting them, the village supporting them. That's what the village is. You giving them money to live off of, to sustain their lifestyle. Have we seen any of these villages work? Have we? Now Summer's in Africa. She promoting the village too. There's a community village over there too. Y'all, please stop. Please stop being fools. Like my grandma say, please don't be a fool all your life.
They're robbing them and scamming them. The same people, you know, so you call those people Judas. The people in Jamaica would say the hand, you bite the hand that feed you. This lady bought this piece of land. As you can see, it's 1 acre of land. In that 18 acre of land he's talking about, it should be 20, not 18. We used to have a monthly meeting held on my property every month. And just because the lady asked, T3, show me on the map where is that 2 acres of land that we sent money to buy for the community. They turn on the lady from that time, how you break the bylaws of the eco village. And yet he's the only one that break the law because he's a thief. And in the bylaws he said you should not be a thief. So him first break it and want to penalize the lady by, oh, I'm going to send you back the money. So what they do in this eco village is not an eco village, they're recycling the land. When you as the original family buy the land,
yes, they're recycling.
the Tanzania and that
they're recycling the land. See, you get it? You come, I'm going to give you some money. If I'm wrong, y'all correct me, the people who know. Because I'm trying to understand all this, okay? Excuse me. So, I come and I go to T3 and me. I want to buy some land. T3 and me know I'm going to get mad because they know they're not going to finish my property. They know I'm not. They know they're not, okay? So they know I'm going to be unhappy. They know something's going to happen. They know 9 times out of 10 I'm going to ask for my money back, which I'm not going to get my money back. And if I do, it's not going to be that much of the money. All right, if I get my money back. But if I do get my money back, guess what? The land goes back to them. And guess what they do? They resell it. They resell it. It's just like what they're doing. They resell the land. Remember? They resell it. The person who owns the land will just continually resell the land, the crooked person, to make money over and over and over again.
Partner with. In one monthly meeting, the guy said how the chief tell him that any member of the group not planning to develop their land, they're going to take it away. So I said in the meeting, if anyone needs their land to clear.
So that's the thing. Did y'all hear that? In the meeting, they said this is another thing they were doing. Anybody who was not ready to develop their land, they were going to take their land back. So you know how much money they needed to start developing? Some people didn't have money like that. Some people had money to purchase the land, but some people didn't have money to purchase the land and then develop the land. They had to let it build up a little bit more. So if you didn't have money to develop your land, guess what T3 and me in the Echo Village were going to do? They were going to take your take your land back.
Use my shamba boys to just clean the land. So this lady take up the offer and asked us to clear our land. Then she said she's going to fence it because she have her big plans to develop our land. And 2 weeks later, because I have a voice clip where the boy sent this boy T3, like I said in one video, is a dread because I only dread thief, Rastaman a decent somebody. The boy said the lady, she's a witchcraft because she gossiping. So me say you also a witchcraft because you gossiping also. He's a liar and he's a thief. So from that time, because I tried to defend the lady land, they called me up, they called me agent, they called me CIA, all things. But let me tell you, T3 and his wife, they are a disgrace to themselves. They are like a cow that give a quart of milk and then turn it over.
Huh. What did he say? T3 and me, I ain't saying this. He's saying this, are a disgrace to themselves. T3 and his wife are a disgrace to themselves, and they are. Have you ever sat down and watched them call themselves telling somebody off? They're a disgrace to themselves. They're talking to people who are their grandparents' age, and they're threatening them, bullying them. That's disgraceful. You took these people money. You took these people money. You can't develop the land, so we get the land back. You don't like the house. It's a disagreement over the house. Well, you have to give the land back to us. Either way it go, they getting the land back, and they're going to resell it after that. Yeah, like he said, these people, out of all the stories I've done about scamming, even what's his name, y'all, Daniel, I believe T3 and me are worse than them.
But to building an eco village, if you do it the right way, it can turn you in millions of dollars, you know, only to be honest. Trust me, it can turn you, but you see, they came over here with their welfare mindset, welfare intention. You know, Marcus Garvey said he would not bring back every black people to Africa.
Wait a minute.
Because the thief and
they came over here with their welfare mindset. Yes, their welfare mindset. And he's right. He's absolutely, I told y'all, it's always your intentions. Africa's a really spiritual place. And they don't feel the vibe and the air there. It can tell what you're there for. What's your intentions? These people had no good intentions. They came over there with the welfare mindset to exploit, to get something for nothing. To get something for not even for the least amount that I can get it for. They want it for nothing. And they want to pretend like they're real estate people. They want to pretend like they was doing this before they came, and the wife wasn't doing nothing but making potions, selling potions. These is TikTok witches. Y'all don't know what a TikTok witch is? You better go look it up. Because it's a whole bunch of them. You probably work right with a TikTok witch. Guess what? You're probably sitting right next to a TikTok witch right now, and you don't even know it. Yeah, it's plenty of them. And that's what you see going on in this world. People summoning all these spirits, and they don't even know what they're doing. TikTok witch. Now, the TikTok witch, the spirits they done summoned, done came to collect.
Because you want them that over there, you would not bring them that. And T3 is one of them. And that's him need to leave the continent. This boy is tarnishing the beautiful country of Tanzania because of this scamming and nastiness. But as Bob Marley said, time will tell. Yeah. Welcome back, people. You see this mark here? This is a mark from UNESCO. Because from right here, go right across over there. The government which owns UNESCO, they're going to demolish right from here. So you would just follow me where I'm walking. They're going to demolish this piece of wall. And what really happened, they're going to compensate all the family that get affected. So the lady going to lose all this portion of fencing. So it's come right here. and it continues all the way around. So I'm just showing you. Right in the middle of this road, this is where the high power line going to run, but each side going to lose like 17 meters of their land. So the lady going to...
Remember when we was in Gambia and they were talking about that? Remember that? They were telling me that. They were telling me that this land, remember we went to the Palm Tapper and he was saying the land that we tend to buy seems to be land that's reserved, government reserve land, which means the government can lease it out and take it back whenever they want to. Well, this is what's happening to this lady. They've taken the land back. What can she do? Absolutely nothing. She just loses, they're supposed to compensate you, but I don't know how much they're going to compensate her. And is the compensation going to go to her, or is it going to go to this eco village, this community? Because they have like a housing authority, a home ownership association. It's like that. They have all these rules set in place. So who gets the money? Does it go to him? Does it go to them? Or does it go to the lady? See, this was another story we were supposed to talk about. But again, I was in Gambia. I had to go to Gambia. I didn't have time. But I promise you, I'm coming back to all of this because this is a sin and a shame before God. And this man is just sitting on YouTube still making videos like he's still helping people. He ain't helped nobody but himself. That is the only person, him and his welfare recipient, thinking wife. This is all they've done. It's helped themselves with their welfare mentalities. Excuse me.
lose all this portion of land. And do you know, T3 and me did not build any fence wall. And he sided up with the Tanzanian to go and sign, telling the people them that they are the one that built the wall. So they want to collect for the wall. So you see people go all the way about 51 feet of the wall from here and go across up. This, after when we sign.
Now, did you hear what he said? They want to collect on the wall. Oh, hey, Maria, it was and still is pending. Yes, African goddess. They were going to compensate, okay, her for the portion they were going to take away. Okay. So Maria, was he going to get the money or was she going to get the money? Who was the money going to go to? And explain to us, did I say it right about, when they go to the court, like the land, how it goes back to them, like no matter what, it seemed like the land go back to them. So did I say that I explained that part right? Tell me if I explained that part right. Okay, that the land goes back to them. Let me get some of y'all comments. All right. So I can make sure, because this is so complicated. I just want to get this right. I don't want, I want to tell these people's story correctly because this just breaks my heart. And Mr. LC, how he disrespected Mr. LC and how he disrespected Mama K. You don't disrespect these people like that. And Mama K is so upset because she gave this man I don't know if it was all of her retirement, but it was most of her retirement. She was so sick about it. She had to come back to the United States, and these people got the nerve to lay down and sleep at night. How you do that? How do you do that? Or how do you think you're going to do that? Because you're not sleeping at night. Oh, no. You're not sleeping at night because you're worrying about what move God gonna make next. That's what they worried about. When you this type of person, you worry about what move is God gonna make next. Because at the end of the day, you got to pay for your evil dealings. So 78 Vita says it was TEOTW. Oh, that's how you end of the world ministry. Thank you, because honey, I always say their name wrong. I'll forever say their name wrong. Because I with their dry bones project. Susan says it sounds like a shady fast come off the funds and sweet of others and off the sweat of others. Yes, it was. It was a fast come up. Excuse me. Wait a minute, y'all. I must have had some milk. She's right. It was a fast come up off the sweat of others. Exactly. But these were elderly people. This is what makes it like these type of things in the United States. When you do this to elderly people, like this is a special kind of crime. Like you get a special kind of sentence for this. Like this is not something they take lightly. That's why I'm telling people, please contact the U.S. Trade Commission. Please contact FBI. Let them know. You know, the government works slow, but they're steady. They're like the tortoise and the hare. All right. You know how the hare, he ran so fast, but the tortoise was slow and steady. And that's how the government works on these fraud things. They're slow and steady. So please don't think, oh, they're not going to do anything. You send them, if enough of y'all contact them and send them the information, you'll see what's going to happen. I think things have already happening because of the way he introduces himself now. He doesn't say the AU ambassador. He say that school name now. AUSCC, whatever thing, ambassador. He don't say AU ambassador. So you got to pay attention to little things like that. And every time he says AU ambassador, we need to complain about it again. Because he is using that to get people to trust him. Okay. Yeah, takedown time. Exactly. She's saying hi. Okay. What does this one say? Let me pull this up. He's just a criminal. He learned from the scammers who are already there. Edra says, this man pointed a gun at a woman and children in a moving car. Remember that? And if you don't remember that, the video is on my channel. The video is on my channel. The link, it's on the news. It's on the news. It is on the news. So you can easily go through the news. If I have time, I'll go get it and show y'all. So it's on the news. So but this is the even scary part, that this is the man that TETOW Ministries are sending these people to. This man this was road rage, and he pointed a gun at these people, and the police went to his home and arrested him. So what are we doing here, people? What are we doing? This with this background, you could never get an investor's license here. The government would never trust you to invest somebody else's money. But because you go to Africa, because I go to Tanzania, I can just be whatever I want to be. I can go to Gambia and I can just, wave my magic wand and I can just be whatever I want to be. That's what these people are doing. You need to fact check them.
For the land on behalf of the lady. One of the agency that come, it seems like he knew the Tanzanian. He let the guy come and sign after us to collect the money. And T3 and his wife, they're still putting up a big fight. Last night, the guy tell me that he already signed over the land to T3 company. But you know, people, I don't think.
Did y'all hear that? The land went back to T3's company. Y'all heard that? He said they told him that they had already signed over the land back to T3's company. Wow.
It's not land they sign over. Some other signing them because last week Thursday, 4 family have to bring them to the village council. People who pay them for land. And when they come, they cannot get any land. They use the people money, take the people money. So he want to pick fight with the rest of 2 family. Bar me, because I said in the meeting, if I ever catch over the woman land, him coming, he's acting like him deaf. But when you're ready, T3, come control the woman land. Because I know the lady pay for her land. She build the fence wall. And so I'm telling people, stop sending your money to T3 and his wife. There's 2 big thieves. They are disgrace. They have no sense of shame. They have no pride.
Wow, that's
People then come over
embarrassing.
here, tarnish their reputation, people.
That's
So this is what
embarrassing.
I'm telling you. Stop sending your money over here.
Wow.
Wait till when you come here, you can buy your own land. You don't need anyone.
Yes.
And for some reason, this guy named, one name you call about him is the one, if I have his name right, telling people to come to invest with T3 while he's not investing with them. And also journey with us, stepping stone back to home. All of you guys are no good. Every day you guys come in telling people how about most I. We're not evil because you know the evilness that T3 and his wife they do to people and no keep silent. You see this bush that I'm walking through? It is land that T3 taken back from people. And you look, see it, it's in wilderness, no development.
He said
But
this
yet,
land that I'm walking through is land that T3 has taken back from people. This is just unbelievable. So they were, see, and I didn't realize this. I told y'all because I was going from one land scamming story to the next land scamming story. And these stories are heavy. Like it's heavy material for me to digest and understand because these are people's lives. These aren't just numbers. These are stories. These are people's lives, you know, and it's hard to take in all of this at one time. And taking after going from Daniel's story to going straight to this story, and then just watching Kenza, the baby wannabe scammer, you know, that was just it was all like hard to process all of that at one time. And now I can process this, what, you know, more clearly of what these people were doing. They were just getting you hyped up to get you to get this land, invest your money in it, knowing dang on well you're going to fall out with them about something. But we got you in this home, I'm going to say homeowners association for lack of a better word. We have you in this. And either way it goes, we're going to get the land back, whether you like it or not. Whatever happens, you disgruntled in any type of way, we're going to get that land back for you. Because then we're going to resell it to the next person. And that's what they're doing. That's what they've been doing. That's what they've been doing.
he's telling people, oh, I start with 18 acres of land. Now I'm end up with 75. And you have 75 acre land, and fighting someone for 1 acre is a damn thief. Yeah. So yes, people, like I said, if you don't hear, you will feel. So my supporters, until next time, just stay blessed, stay strong. Thank you very much. Asante sana.
No, thank you very much for sharing that story with us, for telling us what was really going on. All right. Yeah. So the people who don't know, that's T3 and me. That's who they are. That's who they are. So let's get these comments. Life Out Loud says, look at me, Life Out Loud. Lord. Life Without Limits says, I advise anyone moving to Africa to rent. If you do not like it, you can easily move somewhere else. Never purchase land. And this is the position I would take. I would rent because then you can really see. You can really see. Like if you go, like the first time I went to Gambia, it was cool outside. It was like you had to wear sweaters. So I'm thinking it doesn't even get hot in Gambia. The roads were dry, so there weren't really they weren't paved at that time, but there wasn't like a lake outside your door, you know. So, but if you stay there and you go in during the rainy season, or you're there for the rainy season, you can see, oh, this is completely different. It's much hotter, number one. It seems like things are hard to get, like necessities, like food, different varieties of food. It's hard to get during the rainy season. You'll notice that. You'll notice when it's like in April, it wasn't, it was, I'm going to take that back. Gambia just seems like it's like not enough food, period. But anyway, you'll notice it's different. Okay, it's different towards each season. So renting, you're going to see, can I really do this before you invest your whole life? Some people went and invested their whole life only to say, oh, I can't do this, or I don't want. It's not that you can't, you just choose not to. And there's nothing wrong with choosing not to do this. Nothing. We all could do it if we wanted to, but why would I want to is the question. But if you want to endure that, then go ahead. It's not a big deal. Yeah, 17 meters is a lot. That's a whole lot. But remember, they told us they can do that. They said the government, because they own that land. Ms. Maria says, yes, African got us, but they are going to compensate her for the portion they were going to take away. Yeah, remember he said that they're going to give her the money. How much did they give her? Did they give her? Oh, she said it's still pending. So who got it? Did T3 and me get the land? Did the land go back to them? Did the money go to them? Because if the land is theirs, then who does it go to? Her or him? Just listen. Life Without Limits says, just listening to T3 speak is enough for me to know I would never do business with him in the USA, and definitely not in Africa. And that's what you should ask yourself. You should say, now, if this person was in the United States, would I do business with them? Would I do business with him? If this person was in the UK, would I do business with him? Yes. And African Goddess says to Maria, yes, but that could still ruin their plans for whatever she intended to do there. It will. Because especially if you wanted to do something like have a garden, you know how they all want to have a garden? It will. It's going to, or if you wanted to have a certain type of house, it is going to affect you. It really is. Oh, so she's supposed to get the money? Okay. So Maria says she's supposed to get the money for the fence. The government is supposed to pay her. Okay. So the government is going to pay her for the land, for what she lost. Good. It's her land. She has the documents that she says she has the documents that their crooked lawyers signed. So She can get the money is gonna go to her. Okay, let's pray she get it, y'all. All right, Cotton Top says, it is not their land to go back to. Remember, foreigners can only lease land for a specific number of years. And that's true. Gambia, it is 21. Ghana, I believe, is 50. Nigeria, honey, I don't even know. I don't even know if they even let you lease land from over there because, honey, they just funny all over the place. Because if you marry a woman, say you a Nigerian woman, and you marry somebody from another country, you can't even own land. You can't even buy no land. It's basically like you just give up your citizenship. Now, if I'm wrong, y'all please correct me. But I thought that's what I read in their constitution. Because y'all know I like to read other countries' constitutions. I like to read public policies. Okay. So I believe I read that because my mind was just blown. I'm like, wow, so the women really have no rights. Yeah. So if you want to own land in Nigeria, you have to be a man and you got to marry one of them. It's just like that mainly in I'm not going to say that because I don't know if it's like that in a lot of countries because some of the countries are different. Yeah, it's not, a lot of the countries, the laws are different. So you have to really just check out that country that you're going to go to. T3 and Fleet knew before all of us that the government was coming in. It was then that they tried to give the money back to the diaspora. So they were trying to get, of course they knew because they've contacted them. They know how to find every last one of us. Every last one of us. That's why I'm telling you, it is very important that you always contact the federal government. Never just sit around and let yourself be scammed. They're not going to come on YouTube and tell us what they're doing. They're not going to be like, oh, yeah, we contacted them. And oh, yeah, we told him he better stop. And they're not going to do none of that. You're just going to see things start happening. That's why you got to pay attention. You're going to see things start happening. Now, we know something had to change. Something has changed because of the way they're moving. We know things have changed. So what has changed? Us contacting the government, y'all. You got to keep the heat on. You got to keep the pressure on. You can't just let up. That's their job. They sit there and they wait. The Federal Trade Commission, they wait for cases like this. This is what they do. They sit there all day waiting for you to contact them and say, I've been scammed over the internet by somebody who was selling me this, that, and the third, and telling me to invest. And they're just going to suck it all up and take it all in. And they're going to do their job. And especially your elderly, because over a certain age, they have I forgot what that age is. But over a certain age, it becomes a felony, and the amount changes it also. But it becomes a more serious offense if the person is over a certain age. So this is nothing to play with what they've done. Nothing. So I'm sure they know that the government is coming in because we got passports. They know where you are with that passport, and they know how to contact you. So I know they know. I'm sure they knew. I'm sure they knew, but it's too late because even if they tried to give the money back after the government started investigating, don't they know they're going to know that? Don't they know they've already looked electronically into everything? Why do you think they want us to use those cards? Why do you think they like electronic? Everything wants to be an electronic transfer so they can trace it. They don't gotta go nowhere. They can just sit at their desk and trace it. Oh, this money went here. Oh, this money went there. Oh, she's selling this she's collecting money under her Cash App for her beauty supply place. Well, show me your $5,000 worth of beauty supply products that you sold to this man. Y'all think she could produce that receipt? No. So you're selling land. How are you selling land when foreigners can't even sell land? How are you doing that? How are you advising these people? Oh, I'm consulting. How are you doing that when you don't have a consulting license? How do you do that? You're consulting them about something you know nothing about, investing, where you need an investor's license. Yeah, this is serious stuff. But see, for some reason, people think like he said, these welfare mindset people who don't understand, you gotta work. You gotta earn stuff. You know? You gotta earn stuff. You can't just wake up one day and be an international land investor. You can't just do that and start taking money because you're gonna get caught up. And that's a crime. And the feds are gonna come knocking at your door. Because guess what? The feds ain't got nothing but time. Y'all see what they did, what ICE just did. Oh, y'all didn't see that? Did y'all know what they did? Oh, I forgot what city that was in. When they pulled up in the Penske truck and did a Trojan horse. Oh, if you don't know about that, look it up. These are the people, the type of people you all are playing, these land scammers are playing with. You think they're going to just let you take these people's money and get away with it? These elderly people's money? No, it ain't happening like that, y'all. Yes, of course he knows. Of course he knows. And I say, if you have not contacted them yet, and like I said, you don't even have to have lost any money. You're supposed to contact them if you think, if you suspect that they're scamming. After watching these videos and you suspect they're scamming, you have an obligation to email, and it's just a little form you fill out. Why do you suspect these people are doing that? Well, I suspect they're doing this because I watched this lady named Kiki Loves Nigeria, and she showed all these receipts where all these people had written her, and all these people had sent her their receipts where they had sent these people money. And then she showed a video of a house that they said they had finished for this elderly lady, and they didn't even finish it. So, Mr. FBI, Mr. Trade Commission, I think these people are scamming elderly people, and I want you to please investigate. Leave them to the link in the video. That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do. Keep the heat on. Keep the heat on. You see, we kept the heat on. Do we hear about the women passing away in the Gambia anymore like that? No, we don't. No, we don't. Keep the heat on. That's what I learned in school. Keep the heat on. A 17-meter is about 55 feet. Girl, are you serious? You could build a small bungalow on that. It's a large piece of land to lose. Oh my God. But that's what they said, remember? My husband and his friend was telling us that they will sell you. They won't sell it to you, honey. They'll lease it to you. And they said, but they'll come back and get it when they want to. Oh God. Wow. She was willing to give it back, or better, she has no choice. See? Because they said that. They just gonna come take it. He said that. They said they'll come back and they'll take it. Team member, where you been? Where have you been? With all due respect, living in Africa is hard. Most people, women, have no clue how to purchase land. And he's absolutely right. Because it's not a woman's job in Africa. Women don't do that. Men do that. And when you're a woman trying to do that, guess what? They look at you as trying to be a man. They look at you as mannish. They don't like mannish women. They look at you as thinking you think you can do what a man can do. And Africa's not a place for that. I'm sorry, y'all. Africa is not the place where you want to present yourself as I can do what a man can do. In the United States, yeah, don't nobody care. Don't nobody care. Present yourself like that. Live your life like that. Gone, girl, do your thing. But, like, you know how the song go, gone, girl, do your thing, stop. And that's when you stop. So when you get to Africa, gone, girl, do your thing, but do your thing and stop. Because you can't do that over there. You cannot do that over there. You do that over there, you become a target. What did these women on my channel have in common who passed away? A lot of them were doing their own thing. They came over there buying land. They came over there making and Pro Se Service. Y'all remember him? I think I'm saying his name right. But he said that. He said women cannot go to Africa making money moves like that because you're going to make yourself a what? A target. You're going to make yourself a target. Excuse me. And that's no lie. That's no lie. I don't do no money moves in Africa. None. Not a one. I don't even deal with money when I'm over there. None. None. Even when the kids come up and ask me for money, you know what I say? Oh, you got to ask my husband for money, honey. I don't have no money. Because I don't. I don't keep money like that. I don't deal with money like that. I don't. Because like they said, soon as they see you passing that money out, you become a what? You become a target. And you over there purchasing land. You over there building homes. You over there starting buildings. You over there doing things men over there only dream of doing. Oh no. That ain't the way you want to go. That ain't the way you want to move. You got to move smart. You got to know where you are. Like when I was in school, the teacher always taught us to read to your audience. Read to your audience. Write your paper to your audience. And that's what you got to do. Know your audience. Know who you're dealing with. Know where you are. Know how I should handle myself. If I want to do whatever I want to do, then I need to stay in the West. Go to London. Go do that in London. Go to Europe and do that. Is Europe the West, y'all? Do they consider that the West? I don't know nothing about Europe. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I don't know nothing about it. I know very little. I'll take that back. Like I studied Western civilization because I had to, but that's about it. I'm sorry. I don't know much about there. That wasn't my specialty. But the West, whatever the Western countries are, I'm sure that the European Union is considered the West because they get to come here without a visa. Well, most of the countries. So I would say yes, they are. So those people. Let's see. Land purchasing skill does not depend on gender. No, it doesn't depend on gender. I agree with that too. The skill to purchase land doesn't just depend on your gender, but I think your gender has a lot to do with how you get treated during that process. You know what I mean? Because it's like certain things men do, and it's just the way this is from what I've experienced. My experience and what I've studied has told me that certain things women do, and it's like the 1800s here. It's like the 1800s. You know how when the women in the 1800s would do things like In the Color Purple, when Miss Celie got her own house, how that was unusual for her, and how when her mother passed away, everything went to that man and her stepfather, and that wasn't even her father, and that was her father's house, and it really was her house, but they didn't care because it went to him because he was the man. It's like that. It's very conservative, like the 1800s. So you have to think like, okay, they haven't quite caught up with us yet. So in the 1800s, women were not purchasing land like that. And if they were, it was a rarity. And I'm sure they were taken advantage of in some type of way, whether it be price, whether it be size of the land. It's just for the mere fact that they're doing something that is considered what men do. Okay. And then it would take a lot of men would just treat them so rude and so not all of them, but some of them would, because like, again, they would be jealous because this woman was doing things that men, in their mind, men should do. So I think that's where, in my mind, gender comes into play, because certain things you just like going to buy construction equipment. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Going to negotiate construction deals. I'm not doing that. Those things are things men should handle. So that's what I think. Super shady. What about super shady? What y'all talking about? Yep, directly back to the scammer, shaking my head. So that's where I think gender does kind of play a role in it. So let me try to get a couple more y'all comments. And I'm going to show y'all this other video. It's a video that I did, and I put all the receipts in the video. Okay, take this in the kitchen and open it. And I put all the receipts in the video so you guys can see it. Okay, really, you just really poured that right there instead of taking it in the kitchen. Wow. Why don't they throw them out the country? Well, we don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they're going to hearings. I'm sorry, y'all. I think I had some milk. Usually dairy is hidden in different things. And the first sign that I had some that I didn't know about was I'll start coughing and sneezing. So how do we know they're not trying to throw them out the country? How do we know that? They're not going to tolerate that. And then the law has changed. That's something else I got to talk about. That some laws have changed in Tanzania about who can sell land and who cannot. So we know that. But see, it was like if you had a business. I think she's on here. Here she go. Let me see what Wanda's saying. Wanda, what is the new law about the land? Do you want to come up here and tell us? It's like that in the 50s and 60s in the U.S. too. Hey, Wanda, do you want to come up here and tell us about that new law? Tell me if you want to come up here and tell us about that. Because there's a new law in Tanzania. And how do we know that our moves and these stories didn't have anything to do with that? We don't know. So you got to keep on doing, like my grandma say, you just got to keep on keeping on. That's how we made a difference, y'all. That's how we got things done. We just kept on keeping on. We kept on telling the story. We did writing campaigns. We did boycotts. Oh, we're not going to do this. We're not going to go there. Like they're doing a boycott now. This is what we do. We're not going to spend our money with you. You want to talk trash? Okay, we're not spending our money with you. We ain't doing nothing with you, as a matter of fact, because you talking trash to us. So that's what we do. That's what we know works. Then we do letter writing campaigns. That's putting the pressure on. I'm going to keep writing my congressperson. I'm going to keep writing my government agency that takes over, that's supposed to oversee this. And enough of us write, they're going to be like, hold on, wait a minute. We keep on getting these letters. Something's going on. And this lady that made 10,000 videos, something is going on. So please, don't ever think that what we're doing doesn't matter, because it does. Everything we do matters. So, again, we don't know. if they've kicked him out of the country. I bought several pieces of land and had no issue. Oh, that's good. That's really good, African goddess. But I wouldn't even be tiny. But you know, I don't believe in buying land. You know, I ain't doing African goddess. You know, I ain't doing none of that. I am just not. I am not doing none of that. Just the thought of that just is just like, I'm just like, oh, girl, bye. I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. It's just, it's too much of a headache. He sounds so disheartened. He did, because he knew what was going on, and he was trying to warn people that this is what's going on. This is what these people are doing over here. These people came over here with nothing and they're nobodies, and they're using these good people, taking their money, putting them in bad situations. She says, Shauna says, I used to listen to them, but stopped a long time ago. Wow, I'm glad you stopped. Yeah, these people are not right, honey. They are not. They are not right. You have to check everybody out, because people have their own little ulterior motives for everything they do. Hey, Diaspora Connect. Wow, Journey with Us. Yes, Journey with Us too. Yes, I got some more about Journey with Us. Yes, hold on. You ain't about to wait till you see the other video. I mean, these people, that's why I'm like, all of this information, we can kind of process it, because remember, we was with Daniel. Our minds were blown over Daniel. We didn't have a chance to soak in everything Daniel had done in Ghana. We could not soak that in. We could not fathom that this was going on amongst this, that these repacks were scamming each other so bad like this. We couldn't. And then only to find out there is another crew in Tanzania, Mark Meets Africa. And y'all, I found this video today of Mark Meets Africa. Oh, we're going to watch that next week when I introduce the alleged new scammers, y'all. There's some alleged new scammers that are in the Gambia that we're going to talk about next week. But we're going to also revisit Mark Meets Africa. All right, because I found some new videos, and y'all, I'm watching the video and I'm like, God, why couldn't we see this boy was a liar then? He's not 19. I work with kids. My niece is 17, all right? I know she's a little girl. I know what 19-year-old boys look like. They don't look like that. Look at him. I'm going to show y'all the video. I'm like, this man ain't 19. He might look young for his age, but he's not 19. And then he's saying he lived on his own. He worked at a bank. Now, you got a good job at a bank at 19. How, y'all? How? You got to go to school for that, to work at a bank and get one of them jobs. Even to be a teller, I think you got to have a 4-year degree now. But we're going to get back on them. But this is just to say how they lie. How they lie. And we just sat there and we believed the lies. We believed the lies. This is horrible. I wonder if this could be considered. Yes, it's elder abuse. It is elder abuse. That's why they don't realize. That's why the government is going to move on it like that, because it's elder abuse. Elderly people are like that. What is a common thing we hear these people saying? I wanted to give them a chance because they were young. They see young people and they're like, okay, I want to give them a chance. They're young. They're taking time out with me. They believe in me. Just like the Mr. LC. He saw him as a young man. He wanted to go into business with him. He wanted to help this young man build this business they could do together, only for him to turn on Mr. LC. Oh no, y'all. This is unbelievable. This is elder abuse. You can't do this. And they don't realize that. They think because they're in Tanzania, oh, it's going to be cool. But Tanzania ain't going to protect them. They're not going to protect them because the government is going to ask them, well, what are you doing to protect these people? You got to put measures into place so they can say, oh, it's not going on over here, and this is what we do. Just like the sex tourism in Gambia, the government has put laws into place to say you can't do that. They got police on the actual, I don't know what these police are, but these are special police that be like, if you go down to that tourist area, yeah, the police are everywhere. Everywhere. You're not going down there hooking up with people like that. You're not. Well, I'm sure they are, but you know what I mean? There's police there so they could say, well, we got police in place to stop this from happening. We're doing this. We're doing that. You can't just sit there idly by and see things happening and not do anything. So, of course, they're going to do something. The exception is not the rule. Some men won't even talk business. He's absolutely right. Some men will not because they feel like you're being disrespectful to them. You're coming to Africa with your European ways and you're being disrespectful to them, and they're not going to talk to you. They're going to disrespect you in every which way they can. That's why I don't talk to them. That's why I don't do business with them. Nothing. TikTok real estate agents. Yeah. That's what they are, London lady. TikTok real estate agents, just like the TikTok witches, honey. Same thing. Tanzania, see, this is what it is, y'all. Tanzania banned foreigners from being brothers, selling lands, and being middlemen now. They are done with this now. Okay, y'all. See what I mean? They just passed a law to do this. So y'all don't think us putting the pressure on had nothing to do with that? Y'all don't. And I'm not just saying us. I'm talking about everybody who was putting the pressure on, because it wasn't just us. It was other people talking about this. But when we contact the government, oh, that's where the pressure comes from. That's where the pressure comes from. Yeah. Because they're not going to let you do that. You're not going to let our elderly get scammed and flim-flam and all their money taken away and sit back and don't do nothing about it. No. Now, look at this. Let's read what Miss Tanzania said again. She said, Tanzania has just banned foreigners from being brothers, selling lands, and being middlemen. Now, they are done with this now. Okay. Y'all see that? Y'all see that, right? Wait a minute. I thought I heard my phone. Y'all see that? That's what we want. That's a win for us. So the first update is that's a win for us. This law is a win for us. I need to do a video about that. I need to do a whole video about that. That's a win for us. So if they tell you they over there selling land, they're breaking the law. They can't do it. I've been told y'all that. People perish for lack of knowledge. This channel uncovers the scams and lies of land purchases between Africans and the diaspora. And she's exactly right. Because y'all know, I told y'all when I was little, we used to go on the Christian crusades. I used to call them that. And I remember I was a real little girl when I heard that scripture. And I remember sitting in that big pew that my feet couldn't even touch the ground. And I remember thinking, how terrible for God's people to perish because they lack knowledge. Because they lack knowledge, because they don't know, because they're ignorant in the word. Lack knowledge, the lack of knowledge, guess what that means? That means to be ignorant. They lack knowledge. They're ignorant to what's going on. So they're being destroyed in so many different ways. And these are God's people. And you can tell by their moves. Because what are they doing? Giving money, trying to build this, trying to build that. Their intentions are pure. I want this. And then the devil, like that movie Sinners, you're going to bring the devil home one day. Out there trying to buy that land, and you bring the devil home. And then you get scammed out of everything. scammed out of everything. And I didn't want that. And I said, I'm going to do everything in my power. That's why I teach people how to read. Why do you think I do that? Why do you think I got a double master's and I teach first grade? Because I want them to believe in themselves, and I teach them the power of reading so nobody can lie to you. Nobody can scam you. If I teach you basic addition, nobody can scam you. If I teach you basic subtraction, nobody can scam you. If I teach you basic multiplication, nobody can scam you. If I teach you how to read, then you can read for yourself. You can sound it out. If I teach you how to encode and decode and blend, guess what? You can put words together. You can put letters together, and you can say, oh, I know what that means. Oh, but I know what that means. You can learn to read the context clues and put it all together. You ain't going to be taken advantage of. But if you can't read and you can't write, oh, honey. Oh, honey. Oh, honey. Nah. That's why I do that. Because I don't want God's people to lack knowledge. I could do 100 more things than that. But that's what I choose to do. Because I don't want God's people to lack knowledge. I don't want people to be taken advantage of because they don't have the basic skills. And these elderly people have the basic skills, and they're still being taken advantage of. Because these people think it's a game. They think it's all a game. It's all about the come up in Africa. It's all about the come up. I'm telling you. It's all about the come up. All about the come up. What she say, brokers? I told y'all. That's what they were doing. They were acting as international land brokers. That's what Kenza does. They broker the deal. Who do you think the guests are? Y'all think them her friends? They were clients till we start talking about it. Now she calls them visitors, guests. Oh, okay. That's what we're taking to go see land. Oh, okay. She's brokering land deals, and I told y'all that. I told y'all that. And she has no clue what she's doing. But she needs to do it because she needs money to live off of so they can continue to travel around the world. I initially thought the T3 were the young people acting out of desperation, but it is well thought out. Yes, it's a well thought out scam. And it seemed, that's why I'm like, it seemed like it's a whole bunch of them, like it's a scammer school, and they send them out around the world, like through West Africa. Remember we had said that, y'all? It seemed like they go to some kind of scammer school. It does. Yes. They're done. They can't sell real estate. They're done. Good. See? Y'all spoiled. They done spoiled it for everybody. They done spoiled it for everybody. Good. We did a good thing, y'all. Keep the pressure on. Keep it coming. Keep the pressure coming. Buy land in America and you have no semblance of land law. And you have you said you have some semblance of land law. Yeah, that's true, but you can get scammed too. Because I've read a lot about that, and oh God. Just the whole thing is just a lot. Just give me a house that's already built. Still in limbo. The Tanzania needs to officially and willfully sign the land over. They're not going to. And that's small too. That's a small country. Chosen one, did you hear me say about the dress? I didn't have a chance to get to the mailbox, the post office, because I was so busy this weekend. So this week, please forgive me, sweetie. But I'm gonna go tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna see if the kiosk is open, and if the kiosk is open, I can do it tomorrow. If not, I got to do it Monday when I get off. Okay, but I'll be off early on Monday because I ain't staying late that day. I'm gonna be too tired. Okay, everybody's saying hi now. Let me show y'all what they've done for the people who don't remember what they done. Some of y'all might not remember what they done. Some of y'all might not. And people are new. And these people did a lot. I told y'all when I was listening to this, and I made the daggone video, I was like, what? I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, what? These people did this? I couldn't even believe it. All right, y'all. Kiki loves Nigeria. I got some more receipts. My friend from Tanzania has written me again. And what did she say? If you want to know more, just let her know. And I let her know. And guess what? She came back with, you know what? More. It was a lot. It is a lot. I think I've got like 2 or 3 stories in there from what she's just told me in one day. So, let's start with this story. And then we'll go on from there. So she says, another elder that was scammed out of way more money than me by T3 and me has declined to come forward. Her sister, Mama CK, said that she is still heartbroken and it has left her ill. She moved back to America after paying T3 and me to build her house, and they never finished. When you speak to, she knows the whole story. I also tried to reach another brother who was scammed by them, but he didn't answer. I will keep trying. Be blessed, sis. I'll keep you informed. So then, she gave me a little more information. Me in contact with somebody who knows the elder whose house was never finished and who T3 and me allegedly swindled out of all of this money. And guess who wrote me this morning? Yes, you guessed it. Who wrote me this morning? The lady who she told me she was going to put me in contact with, who knew more than she did. So, guess what she says? She says, I'll send you the pictures of Mama K's house, her incomplete house. I will also send you the Cash App payments to Siobhan. Siobhan is Tim Ford's wife, T3 and me's wife. I will send you the fake investment documents that they sent to investors. We're going to save that one for another video. Kiki, Mama CK, and Mama K would have been my neighbors in the so-called Echo Village, only if they were not swindled. I only got involved when they both came to my gate, crying and asking for help. Wow. Well, that's all I have right now. I'm just gonna let you guys respond. See what you guys have to say. Because right now, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. This is low. Each time we hear a story, y'all notice? It gets lower than the next story. This situation has made this lady, this elderly lady, so sick, so heartbroken. that she's returned back to the United States. We're going to get more information about this lady. I'm going to see what else I can find so I can bring you more about her. But unfortunately, I have another lady story who alleges that T3 scammed her, put her in a whole safety situation where she was not safe. So, we'll get through these videos. We'll get through these receipts. And we're going to see what's really going on with T3 and me. Not me. Not me. All right, y'all. I'm out. I will talk to y'all later. Drop y'all comments and tell me what y'all think about this. Okay, what you looking at now? This is supposed to be, hold on. This is supposed to be the finished product for T3. This lady's house was supposed to be finished. Remember, he made a video saying he finished the house, but he never showed us the back of the house. Well, this is the images of the whole entire house. And as you can see, this house is not finished. As you can see, this house is in horrible, horrible condition. And this lady, again, was so disappointed that this lady had to go back to the United States. And she was so sick. Because, when you get stressed like that, it just makes you sick, that she had to come back to the United States. So let me look at y'all, what y'all saying. So that was just one of the people. That was just one of the people. No, so we learned about the lady with the gate. Okay. We learned about her. We learned about who is this lady now. We learned about Mama CK, her Mama K and her sister. We learned about her, the house was not finished. The other lady lost 55 feet of her property, but it wasn't really their fault. It was the property of the well, maybe it was their fault. Did they have the land marked properly? I don't ever see them marking any land properly. So who knows? It could have been. They could have sold her some land that wasn't even theirs. They probably did. Oh, or did they? I don't know if that was the case. Maybe the I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how that could have happened. I just don't. And now here's another lady. Here's another lady who they're saying that the property was finished, but it was nowhere near finished. Let me look at my script, y'all, and make sure I have the videos. What I wanted to make sure y'all hear. Then there was, let me get some of y'all comments. Let me go down here, because I know I'm behind. So I'm going to start from the bottom, y'all, and go up. Oh my God, I'm way behind. Jesus. W says to teen women, most women be empowered, so they cannot be taken advantage of, especially when their husband or brothers pass away. Oh, that's not, well, see, again, like team member says, you can't think the exception is the rule. You know what I mean? Because you just can't think because you were treated like that. You don't know whether you're the exception or the rule. Because I know people, it's just the opposite. And these are African women, and it seems like if their husband goes, the brothers they swoop in like vultures and take everything. And they're supposed to, you know, take care of her. They're supposed to take care of the kids. They don't do any of that. Now, this is from the experience that, you know, people who have told me who were in that situation. It wasn't like they felt empowered and so they can't not be no, they were taking advantage of terribly. They weren't even given money. They weren't even given school fees for their kids. The house wasn't taken care of, but all the husband assets were gone. And even in some cases, they even tried to sell the house out from under the family to make them go back and live in the village. Yes, they have to go to court sometimes and fight for their rights. But I don't know any of them that have ever said they felt empowered. No, that to them, that's the worst time ever. You know? Hi, Sammy. What you say? Tours are a new, oh, they're the new hustle, honey. Tell me how that's the hustle. Tell me how that's the hustle, Miss Tanzania. That's another scam. Yeah, like that's another scam. You must be new to the channel because you don't know what the scams are, sir. Y'all are silly. Now people doing tours charging us $2,000 for Gambian field trips that cost no more than $20 per location. So they're charging you $2,000 in the Gambia to go on a field trip. What is it? What does it include for $2,000? And who's charging you that? Tell me who it is so I can go talk about them too. Who's doing that? And what does it include? What is 2,000? 2,000 Delasi or $2,000? Glad you're. Hey, Courtney. Stephanie, did I say hi to you? Hi, Stephanie. I don't know if I said hi. People are embarrassed. Yes, they are. They're embarrassed when they get scammed and they don't like to talk about it. She's right. And they won't bring it up. So that's why this is we try to make this a place where they won't be scared, embarrassed. Okay, Courtney. She said, I'm sorry, Kiki, I work on Saturdays now, so I got to come. Oh, thank you for coming. I still love your comment and keep thank you. Thank you for coming. Oh, somebody told me about doing that, y'all. Oh yeah. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel because we almost to 4,000. Can we please get to 4,000 so we can get to 6? Can we please, y'all? I really appreciate all the views. I really do. But please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so we can reach more people. The more subscribers we have, the more people we can reach. All right, y'all? So let's do that. Let's subscribe and subscribe and subscribe. All right, now this next, what is this? Mark Meets Africa should be about 23 or 25 years already. No, I think Mark Meets Africa is much older than that. I think Mark Meets Africa is probably in his 30s. Yeah, I really think so. Because when I look at the people that I work with, like even when I worked at the high school, when I look at those you could tell people who are that age. You can just look at them, their face, and their bodies are different. They're like kids. You know what I mean? Their face is still that baby fat, has a lot of baby fat still, and the little boys' bodies be just like chiseled, like a sculpture. It's not like it's even real, or it's like a little boy. You can tell, especially if you have sons. You know what that age looks like. And 20 no, 26, no, that I would say that's a 30 something person. 30 something, not 20 something. Definitely not 19. Definitely not 19. All right. So, okay, good. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you for your patience. Also, please just be patient with me. Okay. Team member. Wait a minute, team member. Let me get this one. Oh, let me put my glasses on. No, you don't. You. So he's talking to African goddess here. No, you don't. You, ever since you have stopped doing the job, we have also. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about there. All right, now let me show y'all. Let me show y'all this other video. All right. This other video. Oh no, let me read y'all this. This is another receipt. All right, so let me pull this up. Let me pull this one up. And remember, this was how we got started on this. All right, where is that one at? This is a receipt that I got in my email. All right. Oh, sorry about that. So I didn't put them in order. They were in order, but they were in order, but I thought I had them. Excuse me. I thought I had made a video, and I probably did. But hold on, yeah, I got a call. But I just don't know what I did with the video. Like, I don't know what the video is called right now. So I'm trying to, I want to read y'all this email. This is how it all got started. And it was just like out of nowhere. Okay, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on, let me go to my other email. But this email, I want y'all to just hear about all of these people who this lady was telling me about. Now, this is even another lady. Okay, this is not even the same lady that I just told y'all about, okay? So this lady is actually suing T3andMe, okay? Now, this was back in June. T3andMe were supposed to go to court. All right, they had a lawsuit against some people had gotten together and sued them. Okay, they were supposed to go to court. They went to court on the first case. All right, and on that case, the judge ruled that they had to go back and do arbitration. But remember, T3andMe were telling us that they were not involved in any court cases. Remember, and that was a complete lie, because they were involved in a court case. They were being sued by 4 people. Then they won. Well, they didn't win, but they had to go back and do arbitration. Well, we were waiting to see what the outcome was for the arbitration. So this is what the outcome was. She wrote me and she said, the defendants refused to respond to our calls for arbitration per the last court order. So the judge ordered T3andMe to go do arbitration, but they refused to even respond to what these, to their lawyers' calls to do arbitration. We are proceeding without 2 of the plaintiffs who became discouraged. This is exactly what the defendants wanted them to do, but the ones with the boots on the ground are not giving up. So these people have been fighting T3andMe for a long time. While they're telling us there was no court cases, nobody was suing them, it was all a lie. It was all a lie. And they wear you down because you see, it was 4 and then 2 of them dropped off because they were just simply tired. It takes money. It takes time. They went all the way to the first one, and then the first one you had to go back and do arbitration, and then T3andMe don't even respond to the arbitration. So she said those 2 who are still on it, they're not giving up. If the defendants do not submit their written response, the court warned that the judgment could be rendered in our favor. I believe the next court date is June 12th Until then, I'll keep you posted. All right. So I need to get back in touch with her because I was in Gambia all that time. So I need to find out what happened, you know? Uh, did they refile? I know they refiled, but like, what did they decide? That's what I want to know. Okay, so let me see if this is the one. Okay, this is the one. I want y'all to hear this one. All right, this one says, this is when she's telling me about, what was going on with these people. She says, yes, they are wicked. It looks like they succeeded in discouraging two of our plaintiffs. One said she wants another lawyer, which is, I'm not going to read y'all that part. She is in, the U.S. and has yet to set foot on the continent. So it's easy for her to give up because she hasn't been there. And these are the people that they target. So she said, she's tired of dealing with it. The other is in another state in the U.S. and is upset as well. Neither one is here. They do not understand the corruption is real, and they're totally discouraged about what our lawyer said. They disregarded what our lawyer said. As for me, she says she is not giving up. Now, just imagine this, y'all. All this lady is going through. Okay, that's why I'm telling y'all this has been going on for a while. This stuff, these people have been fighting them for quite some time, and it's just unbelievable. All right, let me see if there's I thought there was one more that I wanted y'all to hear about. And this one is where she explained to me like the whole situation, and it was just unbelievable who these people were and how these people were all connected together. So hold on, let me check this one. See if I can find it real quick. Because this is just it's unreal. It is really unreal. Hold on, let me go over here. I think I deleted them. I did. Okay, so let me read it to y'all real quick. It says, greetings, Sister Kiki. Now listen to this, to the players. These are the players involved, y'all. Yes, TEOW Ministries promoted and encouraged us to support T3 and me. Hold on, y'all. I just lost my place. T3 and me. And Pastor Rick Fletcher promoted Mark Meets Africa. His former partner, Oral Gray, who was voted out of the 501c3 Quest to Unite Africa. Quest to Unite Africa is another group, or whoever they are, that are involved in all of this. Listen, I want you to listen to how many players are in this. All right. So, and another alleged scammer, Brian Waters, also known as Yaakov Israel, because he trusted these ministers. This is how these scammers managed to get us. So they were trusting these ministers, and the ministers, let me move this mic back, and these ministers were advising them to deal with T3 and me and Mark Meets Africa. Why? I don't know, y'all. So then she goes on to say, Asante Sana, for what you do. You have so much stuff I don't know. We have so much stuff I don't know where to begin. If there is anything particular you would like to know or see, let us know. So I just told her, tell me whatever she wants me to know. So she says, YouTubers, TEOTW Ministries and Pastor Rick Fletcher gained the trust of the Hebrew Israelite community and promoted T3andMe, and Mark Meets Africa, respectively. Rick Fletcher also gave T3andMe a platform after they were called out as scammers. So why would you give them a platform after they've been called out as scammers? This is where I need to go next. We need to go to this TEO ministry, TEOTW ministries, y'all. Please, we got to focus on them. I told y'all I got lost because I went to Gambia, but I've seen this name too many times. Why are they doing this? All right, let me finish this. So TEOTW Ministries pushed and promoted the Dry Bones Project. Even after T3andMe were called out as scammers, these church people, T3 TEOTW, still promoted them, okay? TEO ministers pushed and promoted the Dry Bones Project. Listen to this. Now, this Dry Bones Project, it consisted of these people. These people will go back and scrub their channels, take everything off so you won't even know what they did before. So I want you to remember these names because these people are going to try to distance themselves from all of this. All right? So TEO Ministries pushed and promoted the Dry Bones Project, which consisted of T3andMe, Journey with Us, Stepping Stones to Home. All three involved the Zion Eco Village promoted by T3andMe. The other two couples bailed out and warned no one about the fraud. So they left because they knew it was a fraud. They knew they were going to get caught. So before they got caught or before their name got dirtied up, they left. But they didn't warn anybody. They didn't tell anybody. They just left. Journey with Us, okay, Stepping Stones to Home ran to Botswana and tried to play innocent. Journey with Us ran to Mauritius with their 5 children and is trying to sell real estate there with no license, I'm sure. A CNA and a cook from a barbecue joint from Cleveland, Ohio. So she's a CNA and he's a cook from a barbecue joint in Cleveland, Ohio, but now they're selling you land internationally in Mauritius. And they were doing it in Tanzania. See, this is what I'm saying. Why would this pastor be promoting this? A sister told me they charge $4,000 a spot when they hold their State of Diaspora webinars. Journey with Us is now with Quest to Unite Africa, a 501c3 started by Karis Copeland, a YouTuber called Covenant Awakenings. Karis and TEOTW Ministries used a buddy on screen. They used to be buddy buddies on screen. A sister told me last night Karis was asking viewers for a $250 a piece. Karis and Quest to Unite Africa are beggars who push the dream of unity between the diaspora and the continent and have nothing to show for it. They fired the chief of operations named Michael, left him high and dry in how do y'all say that? Dar es Salaam, and never paid him. They also shut down their so-called operations in Daer. These crooks are networking. I called them out on a live Pastor Rick Fletcher's channel. He took it down. I called him a coward for doing so, and he retaliated by inviting T3andMe on a live to defame me. Are you serious? Once again, Ashante Sana Tuda Ruba, and thank you so much for calling out wickedness. Yeah. So she was one of the Well, the people who are suing them, and she was just telling me what happened, and this is how it all got started. So I'm going to get y'all comments. This is what they're accused of. And then I'm going to tell y'all an update because I'm getting tired and we've been on here 2 hours. Don't ask me. God made it that way. Stop trying to go against nature and we will be way better. What are y'all talking about? Team member, can you do that bit? Okay, y'all talking. Okay, he talking to her. So they talk. And teach critical thinking. Yes, that's right, Kiki. Teach them. Yes, you have to. Yes, you have to teach them because you're not going to be taken advantage of. You're not. I know Kenya made changes and still changing all the time. See, that's what I'm saying. Okay, a different culture when change is needed. Okay, so let's look at the behavior needs to change so Gambia could grow and develop. Women must be empowered in Gambia. All the people empowered must be empowered in Gambia. Everything, I feel like everybody needs access to good schools. Everybody needs access to jobs. Everybody needs that. Even some of the men don't have equal access. Y'all may think they do, but I told y'all that stuff is ethnic based. Who you know. You know what I mean? A lot of that is still like that in Africa. And I mean Africa, not just Gambia, but just Africa. A lot of it is nepotism. So it's just like I told you, when I worked at the council, all of those people were a part of 2 ethnic groups. And I said, well, why don't the other ethnic groups work here? Oh, because they don't do that. They do something else. And I'm like, what do you mean they do something else? Oh, they do something else. So they don't get jobs here at the government? No, they didn't. And they proudly told me that. So it's not like here. It's not like here. If this whole empower women, how about empower everybody? Let's start with that. Let's start empowering everybody. There's so many young men over there who are struggling, who are just struggling, who want opportunity, who go to the university and just don't have jobs. Oh, Tanzania is really making changes in the country. Hopefully, yes, it will. So let's go back down here. What Quest to Unite? Yes, they were on there. They are organized networks of land scammers. Yes, according to this email. Team member read Proverbs. Okay. Agree. Mark Thieves Africa. Mark Thieves Africa looks to be. Yes. Because think about, Steph, you got sons. Think about when your son was 20 and especially 19. When they was 19, they look 16. They look young, youthful. They look different. They just look just like little girls. You could tell a little girl. You can't tell me you cannot tell a kid. You can tell a little kid they look like little kids. I don't care how big the boobs are. I don't care how big the behind is. I'm talking about their face, even the way their body is shaped. It's a kid. Even with the young boys, that's a young boy by the way his body is shaped. Quit playing with me, people. You know what you're doing. You just greedy, lustful and greed. That's the spirit I see. Lustful and greed, lust and greed. Why are women so hell-bent on what has been since God created all of us? Team member, where have you been? That's what I want to know. Where you been? You just decided you wasn't going to talk to us no more? Did they make you mad and you just said you ain't talking to us no more? That's what I thought too. All right. The Black family needs a man and a woman. Both are traditional roles. Everybody needs to have a role. You're right. He was popular on YouTube. I was not going to for it. Okay. These diaspora are doing tours all over Africa, charging outrageous fees. It was a man in Nigeria with a YouTube channel supposedly selling land plots. I inquired and was told to send 30,000. What? I said nope, and he said no deal. Are you serious? What's his channel? Who is it? They have a fight. You have to fight as a woman in Africa. You do. That's why I ain't doing all that. Leave me alone. I ain't going over there. Shoot, have to fight. I gotta fight over here. Who wanna go over there and fight? I don't try to do all of that. I'm like, oh no. If I have to exert too much energy, I'm not doing it. I'm serious. I'm not doing it. Because you see how my life is over here. And this is for real. This got what you got to do to survive. You think I'm going to go to Africa and have to hump like that? Got every day, got to get up and go, get up and get it going every single day? No. No. I'm not doing that. I am a widow, raised my kids through their teenage years by myself. Last two still in the university. Oh, good job, lady. I'm proud of you, honey, because that was hard. Women can't always do. No, you can't. You cannot. They will and that's what my grandmother told me when I was young. She always put that in our head. It's okay to have a husband and he pay the bills, but don't you depend on him like that. Don't you have nothing. Always have you something, so you can't depend. Don't always depend on the man. She said, don't never depend on no man like that. Exactly. I go for those places myself. I don't need a tour guide. Scammer Sammy says. All right, now, so we've been on here 2 hours. Let me give y'all an update on these people. Go down here. Now, I recently got an update. Actually, I got one in June. That was the first update, was in June. And I believe I was, of course, either I was in Gambia or was I going to Gambia, y'all? I was either in Gambia or I was going to Gambia. Or I was on my way when I got the first update. So let me show y'all the first update. The first update came to me. Let me show y'all the first update. I think this was in, I think it was in June. Because I was in Gambia, I remember, and I told y'all about it, but I really couldn't show y'all the receipt because I was in Gambia. So this one says, Kiki. Now this is the update. This is what we was waiting for. But I got to do the background. How you gonna give an update without giving the background? So this is the update. Y'all ready? So the update is the word on the street is Kiki. The word on the street is Tim and Siobhan is trying to or have dissolved their company. I have many questions right now. What are they trying to do? Escape all the litigation? What about the hundreds of people they took money from, whether from land or so-called investment? Did any or has anyone received their money at all from all the money they invested? Some of these questions are crossing my mind. So, as you see, in June, the word on the street was they were dissolving their business. All right. And you wonder, well, how do you know? How do people know that? Because it's just like here. But Africa is even worse because, like, your driver will listen to you talk. You think the driver's not paying attention. You think your housekeeper, you think somebody around you is not paying attention to what you're saying. And they're really paying attention to everything you're saying. And they'll just start whispering. They'll watch your movies. I'm not your movies, your moving, your comings and your goings. And they'll put it together. So you keep going to the bank, you keep going to this place, you're on the phone talking, and you're going to slip up and say something around somebody, even the people at the officials at the bank who you're dealing with. That person could be saying something. You don't know who's saying something. That's the thing. You don't know. When the streets are talking, you don't know who's talking. That's why they call it the streets talking. That's what we call it here. When somebody start talking and telling stuff, yeah, we call that the streets are talking. And when the streets start talking, it's usually true. Well, then when they start talking, y'all, it's usually true what they have to say. All right. So that's the word. That was way back in June that they were trying to going around and dissolving their business. Okay. Now this was after. Remember, we had put the pressure on. Remember what we were doing? We had started writing our letters before I left. Remember, I made that video and I put all that information out there, who we were supposed to write and where we were supposed to write to, right? So what is their response? What did I tell you? You got to look and see what the person does. Do they keep this heavy on land stuff? No. What do? They start pulling back. He started making political videos. He started talking about something totally different. Then what else do we see? The word on the street. The word on the street has changed. So let's go down here and get these comments, and I'm going to get to the last update. And this update I just received. I think women fight a lot more because they believe a lie that they don't need a man. Together we are so okay. That don't have nothing to do with it. Y'all must be talking. Hey, Miss Matador. Hey, Edra. They're probably giving reinvent. They're probably going to that. Yes, reinvent their business name. They're trying to figure out how to keep their visa since they are not citizens. She's right. That's all they're trying to do. They're going to dip into hiding like Daniel did. Try to change their identity, try to reinvent themselves, and go back and do the same scamming again. This is what I want you people to see. You see what Journey with Us did. They got out real quick, reinvent ourselves. This must be part of the scamming school. So when the heat get on, get away before they can prove anything and just reinvent yourself. Because that's what they all did. They've all done the same thing. You see Daniel's channel, nothing. You wouldn't even think he's done any of the stuff he's done. I know that's right, Kiki. And either operating in the divine feminine or you can't catch me in the States. Yeah, because it's just too much. This is too much. I'm sorry. I can't do that. I just can't. Because in Africa, you just wear dresses all the time. You're always in that feminine, like she says, that divine feminine mode. The everything over there is you are a woman. You dress like a woman, you wear your hair like a woman, you wear your dressing like a woman. I'm sure it's young people who don't do that. They want to be like the West. But I was born in the West. I've lived in the West all my life. It's a lot of work being in the West. All right. It's a lot of work balancing that masculinity with that femininity, because you have to have both here and you have to balance them, because you can't come off too masculine here either, or it's going to cost you, especially as a Black woman. They're probably going, okay, and I believe that's what they're going to do. I really do. I believe Thiefy and Fee. What? T3 and me. Oh, I'm sorry, Thiefy and me. Oh no, Thiefy and Flea. I'm sorry, T3 and me. That was funny. I know. Okay, so look at this one. Team member says, okay, we read that one. Now, this is the last update, and then we'll be fully update. Steph says, right, we fight enough to survive in America. One of the richest nations in the world. Who goes to a foreign country to suffer willingly? Girl, I'm too tired too. I'm too tired for all of that. I swear to you, once I get over there, I'm like, I'm not doing that. No, I have to do that at home. I got to figure everything out at home. You think I'm gonna go to Africa and I want to be Charles in charge, figuring everything? Girl, bye. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. No. Like you said, I'm too tired to be doing that. No, I do that all the time. I'm not trying to do that. No. So, this is the last one, and then we're done. Let me show y'all what they are now, what the latest update was on T3 and me. Let's get this up here. And then we're gonna go, and all you gotta do is go through the channel and look at the videos and see does this match the evidence that we've been given? Is this what we're seeing on their channel and what we're hearing? Could they match? Could they be true? Yes, it could be. So let me show y'all what we're hearing. Hold on, let me pull it up. Let me tell y'all what the word on the street is now. Yeah, get y'all this word on the street. Because we get the information. They used to call it hot off the press. We get it hot off the press. All right. This is the latest information. Let me pull that up for you. It says, hey, sis, it's been a while. Although things have been relatively quiet here in Tanzania, I want to let you know what a little birdie told me. I can't confirm it if it's true or not, and wouldn't know if it's time, and I wouldn't know at this time how to confirm it. But I heard, listen, y'all, that Tim and Siobhan is packing up to run. Let me read that again. But I heard Tim and Siobhan is packing to run. We don't know if they intentionally told his driver to pass it around or not. So let me read that again. We don't know if they intentionally told their driver to pass it around or not. So it is the driver who is passing this information. And what they're saying on the streets in Tanzania is that these people are such liars and manipulators. They could just be saying this. So they're saying they don't know if Tim Ford Jr. and his wife are just telling people this, told the driver just to spread this around the street. All right. Or if this is truth, because it's coming from the driver. I'm wondering if the wife has left with the children and he is tearing behind. Now, we haven't seen her running her mouth and commenting in any videos and talking all those, you know how disrespectful she gets in those videos. We haven't seen her being disrespectful in any videos in a long time. So we don't know. That's what she's saying. She could just not be wanting to be on camera, or she could be gone. She could have said, oh, I'm not going to go to jail with you. I have kids. Because this is criminal, people. This is criminal. I am speculating a lot, but something is amiss. The word is they are heading back to the U.S., which I doubt, but just to throw us all off, they would put this out there. So she's saying the word is they want them to say they want us to be saying, oh, they're back to the U.S., they're back to the U.S., but they're really not. That they're really, still in Tanzania. So she said she doesn't believe they would go back. She doubts that they would, because what do they have to go back to, people? Remember, these people, a lot of people don't go back because they have nothing to go back to. Nothing. They'd be sleeping on somebody's couch. So they don't want to go back. Who wants to go back to that when I can, stay in Africa, beg up on some money, have some faithful followers who's going to give me some money, and maybe, I can, stay there a little longer. But if I come back to the States, I know I'm not going to have nothing. I'm not going to have nothing right off rip, and I know it. So that's the updates. The updates are they're dissolving their business, and that was given in June. Then the update was given, what is this, August, that they are not only dissolving their business, but that the wife has left. And the word on the street, according to the driver, is that that the kids are back and the wife are back in the States. Because then again, what are they going to do, y'all? Tanzania just passed a law that what they were doing, they cannot do. Because I believe Miss Tanzania told me that if you have a business, your business can sell land plots, but an individual cannot. So I believe that's why they needed that business. But now they changed it where you can't even be a business and do that. So let's get these comments, then we're going to get off of here. Well, let them receive financial wire transfer fraud. Yeah, that's what they're going to see. Feds will track you with all that. And they all were. They all were wired. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. Let me tell y'all. When I was in that public administration program, the federal government loves to brag about what they do and how they do it. They love it because, honey, they're going to get you. They love when you think you're going to get over on them. No, you're not getting over on them. That's why I tell everybody, anybody who commit fraud against them, you're foolish. They'll wait 100 years and they'll come and track you down and say, remember when you stole this money 100 years ago? Remember when you did this 100 years ago? Oh, but we just proved that you did it, and now we're bringing you up on charges because the statute of limitations, but they're investigating it. I know you're saying, well, what about the statute of limitations? Some of them, like that PPP loan, they got that one changed because that is a good point. That is a good point. And I'm sure they're fully aware of those laws also. So don't get comfortable. Mrs. Matador says, Charles in charge. Girl, yeah, that's how they be acting, Kiki. We gotta be the same age. I remember that show. Girl, I used to love Charles in charge. I know, I be at work saying stuff like that. And I'll be like, dude, does anybody know what I'm talking about? And girl, I work with a bunch of 30-something year olds, and they're all looking at me like, no, what is that? Oh my God, y'all missed all the good stuff. Girl, yeah, Charles in Charge was good. That was a good show. So let me get these comments. They are shutting down foreign business. Aren't they shutting down foreign businesses too? I don't know, but I'm gonna look, honey. I'm gonna look because we need to look into that. Allegedly, thiefy packing to flee. Yep, that's what they said. That's why he quit wearing the giveaway headband. What? That's why he quit wearing the giveaway headband. Oh my God. Yes. So that's the update, y'all. They're probably going, yep, that is the update on them, y'all. That is the update. That's what they're doing. They are, yep, tell Inspector Crusoe a case until they'll Inspector Crusoe a case until captured. They sure will. That's why I'm like, you are crazy for messing with them. And they just eat it up. They're like, oh, this is a good one, y'all. And they'll be like sitting in the office, like telling each other about it, like, this is a good one. They're on YouTube scamming each other. We got evidence for days. They're making videos about it because they know a video is a primary source. They know, they're saying, oh, they're on Cash App. Oh, let me get the Cash App. And they can get these secret court orders. They can get judges to issue warrants for your phone, get to issue these warrants where they can track you from what head to toe, and you won't even know it. Especially you're dealing with the elderly. Oh, gosh. Like they say, Lord, forgive them, Father, because they know not what they do. Yeah. Lauryn Hill made a song about that. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Yep, they don't. No, but it's just like she's saying in the song. It's a case of every Indian wanting to be the chief. They weren't satisfied with just being Indians. They had to be the chief. They didn't have chief skills. So what did they do? They invented them. They lied and they stole so they could be the chief. And now look. Now we all got to pray for them because who knows what these people are going through. Who knows? Yep. Let them receive the financial. Yep. Because when you take that money, honey, they got you. They got you. They got you. All right, y'all, we are done. We've been on here 2 hours and 36 minutes. Oh, 37 now. Thank y'all so much for coming out. Remember when Russell Simmons used to say that? Thank y'all so much for coming out to the show, for sitting here talking, for interacting with us for 2 hours and 37 minutes. Please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget to visit the Mujo store. You know, if you get some Mujo cream, you know, Planet Mujo, yeah, it is the best cream. I swear, because the air conditioner really bothers me. It really makes me achy because I can't stand all of that. Isn't that funny? But I can't live without it. But I can't stand, like, if it's like 70 degrees, 75 when I walk in, oh my God, it makes me hurt so bad. So you know what? I get my little Mujo cream, y'all, and I just rub it on, and y'all, it's like instant relief. Instant. So please don't sit there and suffer in silence. Get you some Mujo cream. It's deep penetrating for arthritis and sprains. All right, arthritis and sprains. And you know, if you live in the Midwest, if you live in this cold weather like I do, you're gonna 9 times out of 10, you're gonna end up developing some form of arthritis. It's fast acting, it's long lasting, and guess what? This is what I really love about it. It has organic ingredients, and you get 20% off and free shipping. All right. So please make sure you get some of that if you need some. It's the best. I promise y'all. It is truly the best. And it lasts long because they gave me some free Mujo cream, and I still got it. I've had it for months now. So please, if you have any type of arthritis issue, any type of sprains, just any kind of stiffness or soreness, make sure you visit Planet Mujo. All right, Planet Mujo, and put in Kiki 20 and you get your 20% off. All right, y'all. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, London Lady. Thank you guys. Thank you, Stephanie. It's also, is it available? Yeah, it is available on Amazon also. And you can put the code in on there. So go on Amazon. Yeah, because Amazon might be easier. And then you can get the code. All right. You can still use your code. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie, for everything. Thank you, Susan, and thank you again for joining. Thank you, Fiona. Yeah, thanks for joining Kiki Loves Nigeria live stream. Thanks for joining our live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the chat. The chat is always a lot of fun. Thank you for talking. Thank you for your debates. Thank you for your exchanging of ideas. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It is well worth it. All right. At least I try to make it well worth it. We try to make it well worth it. And if you consider joining the channel, our membership, excuse me, where we can help. We want to plan some events for our community, for the repack community, so we can get together and just talk and socialize. Because it's people don't really understand how we think, except we understand how we think. So it's good to be around like-minded people. So let's get together and do that. So consider joining the channel and make sure you subscribe and like the video. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good evening, okay? Bye-bye.